Hey, this is Sean Cody, TexasGunTrust.com and Guns Over Texas Radio. I'm at the Beretta booth. This is the, they're coming out with the AR160, and this is the civilian model here. It's kind of backlit. But we're going to do a demo with one of the LE Select Fire models, but this is what we'll be able to get on the civilian side, and they are finally bringing it out. There's been a lot of buzz about this. So, Lynn, go ahead and take it away.
The gun that I have actually in my hand is the ARX160 A2, and let's start with the magazine. The magazine has 3 different extraction points. Index traditionally on an M4, one here, one on the bottom, like an AK style, one up on the left-hand side. So I've got 3 different extraction points for the magazine. Also, the reciprocating cocking handle. I can switch over extraction ejection very quickly. Right now, since it's on the wrong side for me, because my primary fighting hand is my right side, so my support hand, I want it on my support hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually switch it over. And you notice right here there's a square witness mark to do that. So I'm just going to release the bolt, pull it back to the witness mark. I pulled out, I let it stop, and I'll swipe it through the ejection port. And now I'm set up on the opposite side. No tools needed to do that.
Does that work as a forward assist if you ever needed that?
Yeah, you can. You just push it forward.
Okay. Yeah, it normally makes problems worse, but people always ask about it.
Change out the extraction. Notice this round hole here, one on the opposite side here. You can take a standard cartridge, a handcuff key, an ink pen, or whatever. You're going to close it off because the bolt face has 2 extractors, and then on the rear of the bolt it has 2 ejectors. So basically all you're doing is moving a plate and cutting off the ejector on that, and we'll show you that how that all works. Now, to remove the barrel is removable as well. Push up on the bolt lock, lock the bolt to the rear. I have 2 locking tabs on each side of the gun. I'm going to pull down on both locking tabs and hold it, grab my barrel, pull out my barrel. Now I can change out barrel system, different length barrels.
So that'd be good for if a civilian guy wants to register it as a short-barreled rifle. Will the short barrels be available?
Or 300 blackout or whatever. We'll have different calibers as well. Now to remove the fire control mechanism, what I'm going to do is, just so I don't damage the gun, grab the cocking handle, ride it forward. My stock system is foldable, it's also lockable, and it's retractable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step down, so I need a workbench here to do that, so you can see that. I'm going to push on the back of the buffer. All I'm going to do is push on the back of the buffer and lift up on the selector. And out pops my fire control mechanism. Now remember what I talked about, the plates in the back? This actually closes off the ejectors. So now you can exchange extraction ejection. To remove the bolt group, I pull back to that square witness mark again. I pull up, I rotate the cocking handle to the neutral position, and out comes my bolt group. And basically I have a piece of polymer with all my auxiliary equipment on it. Just think of how easy it's for care and cleaning it's going to be.
And what's the serial numbered part on these?
The serial number part is actually the receiver.
Okay, cool. And reassembly is just as easy.
Just as easy. I'm going to line up the rails. Take my fire control, round radius, round radius. Just in the up position, back and ready for combat.
Now, when you take the barrel out, does that change the point of impact when you reinstall it?
Plus or minus, yes, plus or minus.
Do you have any numbers on how much plus or minus?
No, that's all going to be determined on the individual and the ammunition and all that. Barrel length.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. That's going to be
just
one of the...
Just want to show you one thing if you don't mind. I'm going to set it down. so you guys can see this. This is the A2, and we have the ARX160 that's produced in Accokeek, Maryland. It's semi-auto. Now we're up to the A3. And some of the things that we did with the A3 is notice the gas ports on the receiver itself. We open them up to make sure the gun cools a lot faster.
Let's get that out of that light. So where are the gas ports again? These?
Right here. They open them up. Notice right here how they're much smaller.
Okay. Okay.
And then we did the gas block. So if you go suppress or running different ammunition. And then we actually had to do one, a tender wanted a bayonet stud, so we did a bayonet stud. Now, the key thing is I want you to look how we beefed up the back end of the gun. Notice how it's much more durable now than the first generation ones that we did.
So this is the beefed up reinforced stock.
Right. Even on the 100, the one that's it's going to be available for commercial as well. It's all beefed up.
We'll go down to the old style stock.
You notice the difference?
Yeah, there's much different.
Also look at the selector. Ambidextrous selectors as well. Traditional M4 style muscle memory. Pistol grip stays the same. But look at the difference what we did here. Bolt release, totally different. On the European model, the bolt release was on the inside of the trigger group. Where on this one here, on the 100, and when I talked about the extraction points for the magazine, we're going to unload, show, clear, make sure we're clear and safe. We are. No magazine. But to lock the bolt to the rear, all I'm going to do is index my trigger finger and push up. I can lock the bolt to the rear. My bolt release now, all I'm going to do is insert my magazine and push straight down. Just swipe it down and releases the bolt. Push up to lock the bolt to the rear. Selector. Standard M4 style.
And then to drop the bolt, you just push the button with your trigger finger. That's nice.
But it's also ambidextrous. It's on both sides, so you can fight from either shoulder and can do all the controls.
Well, that is a beautifully executed weapon. And you say, back to the gas block, there's a suppress setting or you can use it with a suppressor?
Yeah,
that's on the A3, you said.
Yeah.
Let's get a look at that.
But eventually that's going to be available as well on the 100. You take a standard cartridge, turn it, move it.
And how many settings does it have?
Just the one.
Just the one, so it's either normal or suppressed. Well, that's great because most of my clients are using suppressed rifles, and they would definitely be putting a suppressor on one of these. Okay, well, thank you very much. Can't wait to actually get my hands on one of those in the field.